Hello, this is Andrine, a Jewish American priestess, and today I'm bringing you a reading close up to the full moon of the Adar 1, this pregnant leap month that comes in once 7 times every 19 years. And in the center of the month of Adar, in a normal year, we have the celebration of Purim. Purim, which is the celebration of Queen Esther, and it's often celebrated with masks and drinking and feasting and so on. But in the month of Adar 1, we do not celebrate Purim proper. We celebrate Purim Katan, which means little tiny Purim. So we don't do any reading of the Megillah. We don't do any major intoxication, but we do celebrate in a small way to increase joy in this month of Adar 1. And so to that end, we're going to do a reading today, Purim Katan, which means little Purim, Purim, which means lots. And since this is considered lot casting, this practice that we do here with the Hebrunes, we're going to use the tiniest set of lots that I have today. And these are little tiny, I think they're some kind of birch lots. And I'm going to use also the tiniest tarot that I have, which is this little tiny deck here. So we're going to start by pulling out 3 cards from our tiny tarot, and we'll let you choose which one is drawing you today. And then we'll do 3 Hebrunes readings with 3 Hebrunes each. So let's start by shuffling up our tiny tarot deck and see if there's any little cards that want to come out, and if not, we'll just draw them as is appropriate. I see 1. And here is number 2. And I see this one is number 3. Okay, let's take a look and see what our tiny tarot cards are here today. So for card number 1, we have the moon. How perfect is that for the full moon coming? For card number 2, we have the 10 of Pentacles. Very nice. And for card number 3, we have the King of Wands. So take a moment to discern which of these 3 cards is calling you today for this idea of Purim Katan, our tiniest Purim celebration, where we celebrate in a small way the increasing of joy in this month of Adar Aleph. I'll put the timestamps down below, and I will see you in your reading. Hello, those of you who chose card number 1, the Moon card. And in this deck, we have the Moon, which is card number 18. 18, which in Hebrew is the word chai, meaning life. On this card, we have a picture of the moon, and it looks like some kind of plant on the left side, as well as an owl flying below. It's a major arcana card, and it corresponds to the idea of mystery and the unknown, maybe going into sort of a dream state even. And so for this Purim Katan, where you are celebrating to increase joy, what unknown thing might be coming up for you today as we pull out 3 tiny Purim Katan to see what is your message for this full moon of the month of Adar Rishon, Adar Aleph, Adar 1. At the top we have the letter Resh. In the center we have the letter Samech. And at the bottom we have the letter Nun. So Resh being at the top is lovely. It's the letter that means head. So it's a new beginning. Something new is coming down from heaven for you during this time of the fullness of the moon something that maybe has a little humility to it. You can see that head is bowed slightly. Resh means beginning. It means like Rosh Hashanah, meaning new year. Rosh Chodesh, meaning new month. And Bereshit, meaning in the beginning. So something new is coming in. And Resh is the letter that's also affiliated with the planet Mercury. So it's about communication. So maybe you're getting some communication from the divine right now. Maybe you're being called on to start a new communication of some sort. But whatever the case is, Resh is here saying a new beginning is coming in from divinity. In the center of our reading, we have the letter Samech. And Samech, I love that it's a big circle here, just like the moon, just like the full moon up in the sky. Samech is the letter that means to be surrounded. The word Sovev starts with the letter Samech. In the Proto-Hebrew, this letter looked like a thorn, and you can see a little thorn up in the upper left corner still. And so it has to do with setting up thorny boundaries, perhaps a protective hedge around yourself, surrounding yourself with protection. In the ancient times, people would plant thorny hedges around their homes and properties in order to keep their livestock in and keep predators out. So this position in the reading is the position of what's our concern or fear here. And I think that what this is saying is it's important to set up boundaries, but it may be challenging right now. It may be hard, especially when you're starting a new thing, to set up a good, strong boundary. It's important, though, to surround yourself. Or maybe you're not feeling surrounded with the protection that you'd like, but you can know that the divine is here. And the surrounding can be a little prickly. Samech is seen as the letter that is affiliated with the foundation of agitation in the Sefer Yetzirah. So maybe there's some agitation that's coming in right now during this full moon time. It can be sometimes challenging to sleep during a full moon even. So although Samech is affiliated with the foundation of agitation, we can know that setting up good boundaries, having some thorns maybe, can be a protective gesture. And at the bottom of our reading, we have the letter Nun. Nun is the letter that speaks to humility. Ne'eman means humble, or someone who is bowed over. But the Nun also is the first letter of the word Nes, Nes meaning miracle. So this small Katan Purim, we have the idea of a miracle here. If we can find our place in humility, maybe sitting with the unknown as it shows up in the moon card. I love again that this is the number 18, meaning life as well. Life is a mystery, and that life presents us with the unknown. If we can show up with humility around that, we'll be able to see our way through to the miracle. And our short little reading today for you, those of you who chose the moon card, is something new is beginning. That maybe we need to set up boundaries, even if it's challenging, even if we feel agitation, feel surrounded with the love of the divine. And when we do, we'll come through with a place of humility, as well as the potential to see the miracle in the situation. So for those of you who chose the moon card for your Purim Katan reading, this has been your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I'll look forward to seeing you here next time. Hag Sameach Purim Katan. Happy, happy small Purim. Welcome, card number 2, those of you who chose the 10 of Pentacles today. And of course, the 10 of Pentacles is this wonderful card of abundance. You can see this treasure chest full of coins here. And it's interesting, they also look a little bit like our tiny lots here. So abundance is the message here that you've called in for your Purim Katan, this time of joy, this time of maybe bringing in a little bit more joy this month of Adar 1. We're going to pull out 3 letters. We're going to do a very short Katan reading today. And let's see what our tiny Purim have to show for you today. Coming down from the top, we have the letter Shin. In the center of our reading, we have the Lamed. And at the bottom we have Kaf. So coming down from above, we have the letter Shin. Shin is the mother letter of fire. Fire looking up from the bottom in these three beautiful flames. This tiny, tiny little letter. Shin is the letter that speaks to transformation through fire. Using the fire to illuminate your way forward. It represents the sun and the moon and the stars in the sky. And it's the first letter of the word Shekhinah, the indwelling presence of the divine. So Shin is what's coming down from above. This idea of passion and inspiration. The divine dwelling within you. And the mother letter of fire shining light down from the sun, the moon, and the stars. In the center of our reading, this is the position of what is a challenge or perhaps a fear. And we have the letter Lamed. Lamed is the one letter that reaches above the line. It's about reaching up with hope, about reaching up with aspiration toward connection to divinity. It's also the first letter of the word Lev, which means heart-mind. And it also speaks to teaching and learning. So maybe we have a situation where we're having a challenge with our heart, or maybe we're having a difficult time learning the lesson in our situation here. Maybe we've lost a little hope as we are moving through this Tiny Katan Purim that's presaging the larger celebration that's coming next month. Whatever the case may be, it's important to tap into your heart and reach up to connection with the divine in order to find your treasure here in your little treasure chest. And the bottom letter in our reading is the letter Kaf. You can see it's a little tiny hand. It's the palm of a hand reaching out. And it can be seen as the palm of the Shekhinah lifting us up and elevating us into a place of comfort and safety. Kaf is all about giving and receiving, reaching out with your hand, giving what is appropriate and receiving what you need as well. Finding that balance between giving and receiving, and also maybe being sheltered over by the hand of the divine. Kaf is the first letter of the word Keter, meaning crown. So for those of you who chose the Ten of Pentacles today, this abundance, there's some transformation through fire, this indwelling presence of the divine, maybe wholeness, shalom coming down from divinity. That our challenge here is to really tap into our heart, to connect with divinity as well as into the earth, and to learn what we need to learn from our situation here. And when we do, the outcome will be an appropriate exchange, being lifted up by the hand of the divine and sheltered over by the hand of the divine, as well as giving and receiving in equal measure appropriately. So for those of you who chose the Ten of Pentacles today, this has been your tiny reading, your Purim Katan reading. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe, and we'll look forward to seeing you here next time. Hag Sameach, Purim Katan. Have a happy, happy, small Purim. Hello, card number 3. Those of you who chose the King of Wands. The King of Wands is all about being in control of the passion and inspiration in your life. You can see this king is being carried on a litter on the back of this elephant who's marching along very proudly, carrying the wand at the top. I can see, and also a shining floral star. And the King of Wands is here to say, you are the master of inspiration in this situation. We're going to pull out 3 little tiny Purim letters today to see what your message is coming in from the small Purim that's happening at the full moon this week. At the top of our reading we have the letter Resh. In the center of our reading we have the letter Vav. And at the bottom of our reading we have the letter Pei. Starting at the top, the letter Resh means the beginning of a new thing, the head. And it speaks to the idea of thought or intellect in the body and the brain. It is the planet that Mercury affiliated with the Rocha, which means communication. And again, just a new beginning. The idea of Rocha, that head that is coming out first in a birth, and the head of a new month, as well as the head of the new year, Rosh Hashanah, Rosh Chodesh, and Bereshit, the first word of Torah in the beginning. So something new is coming down from above, something fresh is starting here. But it comes in with a little bit of a humility. There's a little bit of a bowed head here affiliated with the Rocha. Rocha is the binary transformation of seed and barrenness. So where do you land on that line between a seed that you've planted and whether or not that will come into fruition? Rocha also corresponds to the right ear in the body. So maybe you've got to listen a little more diligently to what's coming in. And that's what's coming down from above. In the center, we have the letter Vav, Vav, which is the word and in Hebrew. It means connection. It's the letter that taps itself into the ground like a taproot, really standing upright and reaching up toward the heavens. It's about connection with divinity as well as the earth. And this position is the position of what's the challenge here. What I love about the Vav in this particular reading is that it looks like a wand, and we have the King of Wands here. So even though there may be challenges with connection, possibly, that maybe you're having a difficult time grounding yourself into the earth, it's important to remember that inspiration comes from above, and that you are the master of that inspiration. Wands are all about fire. So it's important to light it up right now. Light up your time, even if you're having difficulty connecting. Remember that the new beginning is given to you by the heavens, and that you have the ability to connect here. And at the bottom of our reading, we have the letter Pe. This is the outcome. And the letter Pe is said to be the mouth of the divine, speaking creation into existence. It's a spiral as well. So you may be speaking to spiraling breath, spiraling communication, because again, we have Mercury above with the Rocha, that it's important to speak accurately, speak clearly with your mouth, to breathe in a large breath, and when you breathe out, to speak your truth. Pe is seen as the binary transformation of beauty and ugliness. So speak beautiful words right now. Make sure that you bless what you'd like to see in the world, to create with your own speech. Vav is that sixth day of creation. It's the number 6, and on the sixth day of creation, humans were created and given that power of speech, the power to create, to say Bereshit in the beginning, like the divine did, that very first word that came out of the mouth of the divine. So in this reading, where you are the master of inspiration, the master of the fire, it's important to remember that you have that power to bless rather than curse. So starting at the beginning, you've got this head, although you may have challenges with connection. It's important to reach down and bless with your mouth as you speak, communicating effectively, and that will bring you into your power. So for those of you who chose the King of Wands, this has been your reading for Purim Katan, your very Katan reading, your very short reading. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe. I look forward to seeing you here next time. Chag Sameach, Purim Katan. Have a happy, happy little Purim.